Did you know the fate of an entire nation was decided by a single shot no one knows who fired? On April 19, 1775, at dawn, 700 British soldiers marched towards Concord. Their objective, confiscate colonial weapons, but 77 militiamen awaited them in Lexington. Tension, silence, and then a shot. From which side? No one knows for sure. That bullet, that initial sound, was the spark. The shot heard round the world, a brief skirmish. The militia dispersed, 8 colonists dead. The British advanced, but their retreat from Concord turned into a deadly ambush. Over 250 British casualties from hidden shooters behind the trees. But what truly happened that day was that mysterious first shot ignited the War of Independence, a conflict that would forge the United States, inspire revolutions, change the global political map, and plant the seed of modern democracy. Every day on the calendar hides a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today and other years, subscribe and don't miss a single day of history. Thus, the fuse of global liberty was lit with that very first shot. Did you know? Subscribe to complete your daily dose of history.
Did you know that a doctor saved the devil's life out of pure compassion? It's April 20th, 1889. In a small room in Austria, a mother screams in agony. She has already lost 3 children. She is desperate. The doctor fights against death, forcing a weak baby to take his first breath. That breath would become the conflagration that devoured the world. The child's name was Adolf. If that doctor had given up, if nature had taken its course that night, the 20th century would not have known the Holocaust or the ashes of Stalingrad, a single life preserved by medical ethics. That ended with 70 million. History isn't what you were taught. It's the result of small miracles that became curses. Every day on the calendar holds a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today and other years, subscribe and follow us to stay up to date. Did you know that the greatest empire in history was founded on the corpse of a brother? Today, April 21st, we commemorate the birth of Rome, but not as you were taught in school. It wasn't an act of glory, it was a fit of blind rage. Romulus drew the boundaries of his city and swore death to anyone who crossed them. His own twin brother, Remus, mocked him by leaping over the wall. The result, a sword piercing the chest of his own flesh and blood. That first human sacrifice nourished the roots of a power that would dominate the world with an iron fist. Without that murder, Latin, our laws, and half the world would be unrecognizable. Every day of the year holds a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today and other years, subscribe and follow us to learn more Machiavellian facts from history. Did you know that the color yellow-green was, for a few minutes, the most terrifying sight in the world? April 22nd, 1915. In the trenches of Ypres, French soldiers saw a strange and beautiful mist floating towards them. It wasn't the weather. It was 6,000 cylinders of chlorine gas released by the German army. In seconds, the air turned to fire. Their lungs filled with liquid acid. Men died drowning on dry land, clawing at their throats for a sip of clean air. That day, science divorced morality. That day, chemical warfare was born, transforming the battlefield into a nightmare industrial slaughterhouse. Without this horror, the 20th century would have been radically different. Every day on the calendar hides a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today and other years, subscribe, and you will understand why. Did you know that a mudslide destroyed Europe's first democracy centuries before the French Revolution? On April 23, 1521, in the fields of Villalar, the dream of freedom was slaughtered. The Comuneros of Castile weren't fighting for a king, but for the people against the absolutism of Charles V. But the sky opened up. Mud trapped their boots, their cannons sank, and the royal cavalry hunted them down like animals in the mire. At dawn, the leaders Padilla, Bravo, and Maldonado were beheaded as the rain washed away their blood. If that ground had been dry, Spain would have been a parliamentary monarchy 300 years before the rest of the world, changing the destiny of an entire continent. Absolutism won, because the earth turned to liquid. Every day on the calendar holds a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today in other years, subscribe, and get ready to question everything, starting with this. Did you know that today's silence paved the way for tomorrow's Holocaust? On April 24, 1915, in the shadows of Constantinople, hundreds of intellectuals were dragged from their beds, never to return. It was the beginning of the Great Crime. While the world burned in the Great War, 1.5 million Armenians were forced into death marches in the Syrian desert. But what they didn't tell you is the terrifying butterfly effect. Decades later, a young Adolf Hitler justified his own plans by saying, "Who remembers the extermination of the Armenians today? If the world had cried out today, the history of the 20th century would not be stained with so much blood." Every day on the calendar holds a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened on this day in other years, subscribe, and keep discovering the horrors that human history has left us.
Did you know that a navigational error of just 2 kilometers changed the world map forever? It's the early morning of April 25, 1915, on the shores of Gallipoli. Thousands of young Australians and New Zealanders jump into the water hoping for an open beach, but the current has swept them into a death trap, vertical cliffs, and mud dot above. The Ottoman cannons show no mercy. The Aegean Sea turns a viscous crimson as the men drown under the weight of their own equipment. What should have been a swift victory became an 8-month slaughterhouse with 500,000 casualties. From this horror was born the national pride of Australia and New Zealand, and the ashes that founded modern Turkey, a miscalculation that forged identities in blood. Every day on the calendar holds a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today in other years, subscribe and follow us. Because everything started to change when you started to ask yourself.
Did you know that an ordinary market Monday changed the fate of modern warfare forever? On April 26, 1937, the sky over the town of Guernica didn't bring rain, but fire. The Nazi Condor Legion used this Basque village as a human laboratory. They weren't looking for bridges or factories. They sought the total collapse of the civilian soul. It was the first carpet bombing in history. The butterfly effect was devastating. What Hitler learned here, he later applied to set all of Europe ablaze. Picasso immortalized the horror, but the world forgot that Guernica was just the prologue to a global apocalypse. Every day of the calendar hides a secret that changed the world. If you want to discover what happened today in other years, subscribe, and you will understand why.
Well, my people, thank you very much for joining us in this video. We hope to see you soon, and follow us and subscribe down here on the bell. Click on the bell so you can follow us, so you can stay updated on every post we make weekly and daily. We will be uploading shorts and the weekly video to analyze historical events. Take care. Bye.